Fate of the universe on the line. I want Iguodala.
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
Hurry, way downtown. Bang! Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Is this the dagger?
Post All-Star, post the Ranveer hate, posts of no effort. The ghost of Malone returns. While your hosts took time off, they now back at it again. Second half of the season, and it's time once again for the #Ballers NBA podcast, your favorite NBA podcast in an Indian accent. My name is Ashin, and we are returning for episode 13 of season 6. In the association this week, the All-Star fever refused to go as the Kings and the Clippers enacted a 176-175 game. Damian Lillard scored 71 points on the Houston Rockets with 13 threes in a career-high performance, and Quin Snyder became the new Hawks coach as they said their bye-byes to Nate McMillan. Speaking of almost, I've got with me, as always, almost a member of the 30 under 30, almost a Luxembourg citizen, and almost an NBA owner, my co-host Vinith.
What's up, man? It's been a while since I heard this introduction.
Vinith, a lot has happened since the last time we spoke, but I mean, obviously you've done a couple of, you have done a couple of lives on Instagram, so we're not that much out of date, but we didn't talk about the Russell Westbrook trade. We, on the podcast, didn't discuss the new state of the NBA post the trade deadline, the new balance of power, what it will be like. Some teams made great moves and some teams made moves that is sort of, reasonable. That the Clippers got Westbrook for the vet minimum. What are your thoughts about the new tapestry of this NBA? Like, do you think things have happened enough for us to say, no, the Celtics are not the favorites anymore for the title?
Yeah, I would say that, the Bucks have really come out as the front runners, in my opinion, to win the championship. We still don't know Kevin Durant's injury stuff. Mm-hmm. That's the only problem, right? I think he can get injured very quickly, and once he gets injured, then the Suns are out. So it's so dependent on Kevin Durant's injury or health that
they gave up all the pieces that they had been growing till that point, Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges and all those boys just said bye-bye and went off. It's crazy how they said we have to win now and Kevin Durant is the only answer.
Yeah, it's like if Ranveer Singh says, I want to join Ballers Bay podcast as a co-host. Both of us will kick the other one out. Please. Please, we had a good run, but...
I don't think anybody's saying that Suns made the wrong move, right? If you can get Kevin Durant and you can keep Ayton, CP3 and Devin Booker, that's almost unfair that way. With Kevin Durant, he's just coming off of back of that injury. You don't know how good will he be. You don't know by when he'll be good enough, because now we are in the second half playoffs starting.
Second half? We are in
We are in the third quarter.
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter.
Okay.
Fourth quarter. Yeah, fourth quarter. I feel like all the teams that are supposed to be who they are who they are at this point. Obviously, the West playoff is a little bit still up and down, but you know who the playoff contenders are going to be. Unless someone really drops off, right? I see Portland might make Portland and Lakers are the only sort of teams outside looking in. Yeah, if they go on a winning streak, and Lillard decides he's going to drop 70 every game, which he possibly can, and if he has all the green light, all the lights are green, for him from shot 1 to shot 100. And I just feel they should let him do it. They should just pick a game and say, listen, we're going to take 80 shots this game. Just be ready. This. Just be ready and just take 80 shots. Get that 100 points. Just go for it. I don't know why. If I was a franchise player and my franchise was trash, I would just go to the coach and say, listen, give me 2 games. Just 2 games where I can take 80 shots. And let's see what happens.
80 shots, that's a good amount to get to 100. Easily, I think.
Easy. No, didn't Kobe take some 47 shots to get to 60 in his last game or something? Something like that, right? Something ridiculous.
In the last game, I think he took 50 shots to get to 60. But in the 81 game, I think he took 47, 48, I think around 50 shots to get to
50
80.
shots.
And it's not easy, right? You can imagine Will taking 50 shots because he's just sort of laying it up here or dunking it. He's right there. These jump shots and all, they take a lot of effort to.
No, but do you have to? I mean, if you're Damian Lillard, do you really have to do a jump shot? Why can't you like just keep pulling up from three? Deep threes. I would say Dame is still very underrated.
He's underrated. Yeah, I mean, nobody gives him any credit because he said, "I will stay at Portland and I will do my best here."
Yeah, I mean, it's getting a little annoying. Like this whole narrative is getting really. I don't know if you saw that interview with I don't know who. Oh, we better not win. We better not win a championship. Did you see that? Did you see that comment?
Yeah.
What do you mean by we better not win? Like, you first win, then you talk like that.
Then you talk. Exactly.
Then you talk. Like, don't be like, oh, we better not win. We better not win. Like,
no, I think what he means is that we better not win because we are going to come back at every single motherfucker who said that we couldn't do shit. It's like almost like Giannis, right? Like Giannis winning his championship. Of course, Giannis came into the league later but Giannis also, all the criticism was that he can't take the team to the championship. He can't do this. He can't shoot jump shots. He can't perform here. He won easily the finals MVP. He had defensive level plays. He did everything and he did it with the franchisee that drafted him, right? Now, if Dame does it, do you think that's more heroic than Giannis because he went through a lot of bad shit? Or do you think it's less because, he took like 3 years more to do it?
I would say getting through the West is always more challenging than getting through the East. With the West, you truly every year have to defeat extremely good teams to get to the finals, and then you have to play like the best team on the East. So by the time you reach the West finals, you're like battered, beaten. So I always feel like teams that come out most of the times from the West are better and also very tired by the time they get to the finals.
So you're saying they'll be more valuable.
Damn, yeah, easy. Getting out of the West is always like, look at LeBron, right? Since he's been to the West, like he's barely made the playoff once. Mr. 9 finals.
So I feel Suns have the advantage, but of course the caveat being whether Durant comes back or not. But I still think that Celtics have a lot of
you still think Celtics are number 1.
In my head, Celtics are number 2 behind Suns because any team Durant has, it's in my head that team is pretty good odds to win.
For you right now, it's what, Suns,
Celtics,
Suns?
Bucks, healthy Suns, Celtics, Bucks. That's my top 3, and I think the finals will be probably a combination of them. I mean, I want to give the roses to Clippers, but I think Warriors are a little bit better than the Clippers. I saw
Warriors are better than Clippers.
Yeah, I feel so. I think in my head very clearly.
With or without Steph?
With Steph, obviously with Steph. Like all of this, Warriors have no basis for anything without Steph. Like with Steph, I think they are better than the Clippers. And I think they can make it to the finals. But with Clippers, the problem is I don't know if they have enough. Like they have so many good players off the bench. It is unbelievable. Like they have Normal, Powell, Terrence Mann. Westbrook is coming off the bench now. Zubac is not playing, so Zubac is going to come back, and they have Robert Covington who's not playing much. Like they have so many players, but somehow that amalgamation is not happening. Like Paul George has been a little bit out of form. Like today's game was, oh my god, that was really bad. Today's game against the Nuggets. But then again, Nuggets are a good team, but I have no faith in the Nuggets in the playoffs.
Oh my god, disrespect.
Yeah, that's true.
Three-time MVP.
He won't be 3-time MVP. That is ridiculous. He should not be 3-time MVP. You can't be.
Why should he not be 3-time MVP?
You can't be MVP and all when if you can't take your team by yourself into the second.
That's a horrible logic. That's a
perfectly good logic. You cannot keep getting MVP if you are not able to take your game. Like what they got swept last time, right, by Portland. Whoever it was, they got swept last time against the Suns. You can't get swept and all if you're an MVP. You have to win one game.
No, I agree on that part, but
I'm not saying that he's not been the best player, but after 2, you should have to be like, okay, fine.
But who else will you give it? Like who has really like taken the trophy off Jokic?
I think you can give it to Giannis, or I think you can give it to Embiid. Jason Tatum is an absolute contender for that thing.
Oh God, nothing.
I think any of those.
I mean, Giannis, I'll agree with a little bit that Giannis has like you can give it to Giannis because if you take off Giannis off the Bucks, they are like barely making the play-in, I feel. So in that sense, I would say that Giannis. I think Giannis. It's a 2-man race between Giannis and Jokic at this point.
No, I think I feel like Tatum, Giannis, and Jokic. It's a 3-man race.
No, not Tatum. Not Tatum. Sorry.
How can you say not Tatum? I don't understand.
Because in terms of
Best player on the best team.
okay, yeah, fair enough.
Not by far. I mean, Bucks and them are by
I don't think he's like
close, but
MVP caliber. Like, I don't think he does that much for his team. Like, his value to his team is less than Jokic's value to Denver Nuggets and Giannis' value to the
I mean, Denver Nuggets is a purely Jokic-driven team. Like, let's not like confuse that thing. It's like almost like LeBron, right? Like LeBron chooses where people go and like how LeBron dominates the ball and makes the right decision, but also gets his point. I mean, Jokic got 40 points today. He was the reason that Kawhi was punching like right-handed, Jokic was punching left-handed. Punch. And it's not like all he does is like pass and assist, like Steve Nash got those 2 MVPs by just being an assist man, like not really scoring much. Jokic scores, Jokic passes, Jokic does rebound, they give the triple-double man, like all of that, agreed. But you can't give it to him 3 times in a row because that's just unfair on the trophy itself. He is not done enough to be like 3 times. That's all.
What he took them to the Western Conference Finals once.
In the bubble. No, that's okay. You can ignore
whatever.
That.
Finals is finals. No, then what? Then both of the other times he reached the second round.
Exactly. Reached the second round. Did he get out in the first round?
No.
Last year I think he got out in the first round.
Second round.
Trailblazers. Okay, whatever. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember.
Yeah. So like one. I mean, come on. That's just that. Given how bad that team was last year, the Nuggets team was really bad. They didn't have Murray. They didn't have Michael Porter Jr.
But still.
What? Still, he took them to the second round. Come on.
No, that's too much. I don't think he's going to get it this year, and I think that's the right decision to make also. But the NBA All-Star, winning that NBA All-Star game was an absolute snooze fest. I could not believe that people were not even making any attempt to like sort of defend. Like I think the only sort of defense happened was when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown went up against each other. There they were trying to do something, and yet both of them sort of showed them that offense better than defense, which is great. Right? Play decent defense, but don't just give them a pathway to the basket. Like okay, I will stand right next to you and I will take you to the basket. Like do something at least, right? Like at most places it was just like 1-on-1 and 8 other people standing at the perimeter. Like, okay, I wonder what they will do. It's just sort of I mean, is there any way to motivate these young players, or what do you think is the reason that they're not motivated to like treat the All-Star game like, like a special thing, like how they treat a Rucker Park or whatever it is, right? Like, why not even that much? Is it because they'll get embarrassed? Is it that's the reason? If something wrong goes on, they'll be embarrassed?
Yeah, I feel like, it's kind of like the person who got picked last, or like, Jokic, Markkanen getting picked like in the end. Everyone who plays at that level has a lot of ego. I mean, even people that don't play at that level have an ego. And
don't look at me.
I mean, you also have
at that level, right? Yes, of course.
But the point is, yeah. So I feel like that's just the thing. It's just like if they go all out and they lose, or they don't look good going all out, because the other people are very good. Like it's like, yeah. So I feel that may be a reason, but I also think that injuries, they don't want to get injured. That could also be something. But I think mostly it's just the embarrassment of looking bad when you see them compared to like, because you have to really stand out. If they play all out, you have to really be very good to be like the best player on those 2 teams.
Yeah, because I mean, the entire team has to buy into that thing. And if one person is playing defense,
that's the thing. Right?
They pass the ball off, go here, nobody's playing defense there, then that guy will be like, then why am I spending my time doing
this? You have to be on the team, and then everyone should be like, all right, he's the best player in our team. And that's not going to happen.
Let's help him and let's win. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. There are very few players, like maybe like a Jordan or a LeBron or a Kobe, that carry that weight, like, okay, I'm the best. Like everybody get out of the way. Shaq.
I don't think Shaq did that great at All-Star games and all. I don't think he...
No, but like Shaq is, if you're playing a team and Shaq at his peak...
No, I think
1999 to 2004. No one could come and up to Shaq and say, hey man, like you're not the best player on the court.
No, I think it also depends on what that best player, what mentality he's bringing into this game, right? If they are talking of this as an exhibition game where you can lay up the ball at one end, get your 2 points, and dunk the ball.
That's what I'm saying. No,
pointers.
the point I'm saying is like, if everybody takes it seriously, then that's when the problem arises. Like, then Shaq becomes like, then you have to feed the ball to Shaq. Like, that's the way to play it, right? If Shaq's there, or like if Jordan's there, then everyone just kind of like stands around and let.
No, but I think the expectation for fans, most like myself, fans, right? Like, is that this will be sort of a dream team A versus a dream team B, where nobody wants to lose, and they understand that basketball. See, any good player of basketball, I think the reason mostly that Shaq has a big ego was because he was always the best player on his team. Like, there was no one even remotely close to him on his team. So he never felt the need to be like, okay, let me distribute the ball for no reason. The first option should always be give the ball to Shaq, and then second option anyway. If he had Michael Jordan on his team, I don't think he would have been that sort of selfish player. Like, give me the ball first and foremost, and then we'll see what happens. I'm sure he would have been a little bit more like, okay, I will set the ball. Because I don't think he ever considered Kobe to be as great as him, right? So for him to defer to Kobe would have been an absolute, like, no, I can't do that. But whenever Shaq has played in any of these all-star games, right, like, he's always been like, no, I understand that all of us are good. So I think the expectation from everybody is that this will be like an all-star game, matlab dream team 1, dream team 2, which means an amazing team on one side and an amazing team on the other side. Both teams don't want to lose. But here it's like both teams don't want to try, and you make one move and you're free for a basket. And my problem was not the number of threes that they shot, because that is great, because that takes a lot of skill. It's not like if you're free and you take a 3-pointer, it'll always go in. But those layups that they made, and where the defender is just sort of strolling with them on the side, and they're really not doing anything special, those were the ones that I thought it's not fair, because anybody can do that. Like, you don't have to be an NBA All-Star to do that. Show us what you mean by being an NBA All-Star, right? Show me that you can take on your defender and like beat them completely, not take the defender with you and walk along with them and then make that layup, because that anybody can do. That's not a special NBA offering to this world. The NBA offering is like deep threes and dunking over defenders and like razzle dazzle, boom, 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 and all that. So that's what they're trying to put, right? They're trying to put out the best product of the NBA, and this did not feel like it. That's my problem.
But I don't think we'll get to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same thing. I don't think we'll get to see it.
Yeah, it's too much to ask. Can't get everything in life. Sometimes we just got to watch the Rockets play the Portland Trailblazers. And them dropping 71.
He had, 41 in the first half. So he had
I don't know. He had a really bad third quarter.
Yeah, he didn't score much in that. I don't know if it was bad third quarter, but he didn't score.
No, he didn't play much. He didn't play much. Like, he just played, I think, like 5 minutes. Which I don't understand why.
The man does not care for.
No, man cares. But
No, I'll tell you why he doesn't care. Okay, he got to 13 3-pointers, and the record is Clay's 14, right? 14 3-pointers in a game. So he got to 13 3-pointers, and then he was like, okay, somehow I need that rhythm. Like, sometimes shooters just have that rhythm that anywhere they shoot from, it's good. And he was pretty tired also. He had played a lot of minutes by then.
This is the fallacy, though.
No, the hot hand fallacy. But still, like, shooters have that sort of feeling. As a shooter myself, I will tell you that we have those feelings. Sometimes that we can't miss anything. So they turned the ball around everywhere, and he got the ball and he shot, and it hit the sideboard. Okay, not the rim, not the net. It hit the sideboard and went off. And he was like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to continue to just want to take one more shot, because he could have taken one more shot. It's not like he could have easily from his place, nobody to guard, one dribble to the right, boom, shot. He could have shot that shot, and like, looking at him, he could have probably made it. But he said no. That absolutely bad shot, he didn't say it, but he said in his head, he probably was like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I can't take any more.
All of this is Ashwin's conjecture.
Yes, correct. But I feel it is true, because he hit that shot and then immediately
because you and Damian Lillard have very similar mentalities.
We are like cursed by this greatness, so we have to
I understand.
All right. We had just had I want to talk about Quin Snyder coming in for the Atlanta Hawks. I remember we had an entire segment devoted to Nate McMillan's amazing coaching when he got I think he also came in mid-season and took the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks. And now he's on his way out. What usually, I don't know if you study companies, because I mean you have a company of your own, but the management there has not changed, or maybe there has been some sort of lead change about it. What exactly do you think happens where something has gone well one time, but they are unable to reiterate the project with those same conditions but with different results?
I mean, basketball is a players' league. It's a players' sport. Coaches have very little to do with it. I mean, coaches generally, and this is why I think bad players make good coaches, because in the end of the day, I think your job as a coach is to figure out how the rest of the team plays with the star. Everything should feed into the star, and it just it grows. The star takes you wherever he can take you, right? That's kind of how most basketball teams are. Unfortunately, Trae Young is not a very good star. So,
shocker for me at least.
I don't think it was a shocker. I was never on the Trae Young bandwagon.
I was the shocked one.
I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes the way a person talks and the way a person reacts, it just shows their ability to go through a tough situation without blaming other people. And taking responsibility for this action. And this is at least the one thing that I'll give Kobe. It's when shit went wrong, when he did everything, he took the blame. He just said, you know what, this whole bullshit is my fault. He didn't shy away from the fact that he drove away Shaq and he had that Utah thing and he drove away Phil Jackson. All of this he knows, and he has acknowledged many times that were his mistakes. But, he sort of took responsibility and tried to at least save face and not blame other people. And I don't think Trae Young is built that way. Someone's got to go, and the coach, they're not going to trade away Trae Young.
Yeah, for Nate.
And if Trae Young says, you know what, I don't really like the coach, the Hawks are going to say, okay, bye Nate, thank you, here's your package, see you, bye bye. And whether I love Quin Snyder, what a great coach. But I don't think Quin Snyder also will be able to, I don't know who, there are those players, man, like Allen Iverson and all those players. It's very difficult to coach them. They're just hard-headed. Russell Westbrook.
All right, Vineet, thank you so much. Audience, thank you so much. Let us know what you want us to do for next episode and all that. We will be we'll be making some changes to this podcast format so that it's more interactive and we get fans on and all that sort of jazz we'll do. But till then, like, share, subscribe, do all the jazz, and we will catch you for the next episode. Till then, Vineet, say bye-bye.
Bye.